the Joy Perspective, the podcast where I share life's challenges, things I've learned through years of personal development, and help others shift their perspective and find their joy. I'm Lauren Valdez, and together we'll dive into how changing the way we think can unlock possibilities, spark creativity, and transform the everyday. Let's dive in.
Why are you so hard on yourself? Let's dive into this. I'm going to ask you a question. Why is it that we can extend so much grace and kindness to others, but we rarely do it to ourselves? I want you to pause and think about this. If you spoke to a friend the way that you spoke to yourself, would you still be your friend? This is a topic I really want to dive into today. And I actually was texting with a friend earlier today, and she was talking about how she's really working to grow her faith and to read her Bible daily. And she was talking about how she's beating herself up because she's not doing it every single day, or it's not happening the way that she wants it to. And although sometimes those convictions can be reminders that, hey, we really need to prioritize the things that are the priority, but also so much shame and guilt she's placing on herself. Like, what a double standard. If I was her friend and I called her up and I said, hey, I'm working through the Bible in a year and I've missed the last 3 days and I'm so mad. I cannot believe that I haven't been making this a priority. She would not have been like, you're a failure and you aren't prioritizing God and you aren't whatever, right? Just like, if a friend called you up and she says, I'm so dumb. I left my coffee at home today. I'm such an idiot. I can't believe it. I even made the coffee and I left the stupid coffee on the counter and I'm so dumb. Your response would not be, yeah, you're really dumb. You'd be like, I mean, girl, it sounds like that's an excuse to go to Starbucks and to pick up a little treat yourself coffee. And of course you forgot your coffee. You've been juggling so much. You're such an incredible mom and an incredible worker, and you've been putting your all into those things. So of course you forgot your coffee. At least you didn't forget your kids at home, right? You would be so kind and so sweet in the way that you returned that comment. Yet we often are not that way with ourselves. That example of leaving the coffee at home, that's me. I'm guilty of this. I got so mad at myself the other day. So mad because I forgot something. How could I have forgotten it? I'm so dumb. I literally was telling myself these things. And until we start to make it practice to where we challenge the thoughts and the things that we say to ourselves, I'm going to keep believing that I'm so dumb for forgetting what I forgot at home. My friend is going to keep thinking she's a failure for missing a few days of her Bible study or for it not going the way that she planned it to. But the double standard here is that you would never speak to your friend that way. You would never speak to a loved one that way. And yet we find it okay to speak to ourselves that way. Why? Where does that inner harshness come from? And I know for me, like, I know I have become I became a perfectionist in growing up because I just wanted to be good enough. If I did everything perfect, if I was straight A student and varsity sports and top of my class and whatever, then I would be good enough. And anytime I was less than perfect, I felt like my parents weren't going to love me. I felt like people weren't going to be proud of me. And that inner voice for me comes from wanting to be enough. And maybe that's not your story. But what is it? What is it that has created that harsh inner voice for you? And maybe that harsh inner voice was something that you used to survive growing up, whatever trauma it was, whatever hardship it was. But now it's time to teach ourselves, me included, We don't need that to survive anymore. We don't need to be perfect to feel like we're enough. We don't need to protect ourselves anymore. And so that inner voice needs to be retrained and retaught. I'm not stupid for forgetting my coffee. She's not a failure for missing a couple days. In fact, I'm impressed. To only miss a couple days. Life is busy and life is crazy. So work to train yourself to question those thoughts. When you feel like you're a failure or you feel like you're falling short, are you really? Sometimes it's a good time to stop and pause and go, what is it that I have accomplished? Or what is it that I am juggling? Or what is it that so that you can show yourself or prove to that inner voice, no, I forgot my coffee because I was too busy getting both my kids their waters. And then I threw a couple extra snacks in my purse just in case they got hungry later. And then I filled up my water and I added my aloe glow to it so that I could take care of myself as well. And so, yeah, I forgot the coffee on the counter. Oh, well. And when you're working for something like she is, like I've been doing reading the Bible in a year as well. And I've missed a couple days here and there. But you know what? It's progress, not perfection. So I've missed a couple days. And so you know what I do when I catch that I've missed a couple days? I catch up on those couple days. I make progress. Me doing the Bible in a year, perfect, exactly how it's paced out, isn't going to change the same outcome as if I just make progress through it. I'm still going to finish it. I'm still going to grow my relationship with the Lord. I'm still going to learn more about how incredible and loving and merciful and graceful He is. So use some of that grace on yourself too. Progress, not perfection. You are allowed to be a work in progress and still be worthy of love and celebration and all the things. You are allowed. I want to jump back real quick to very practical ways of reframing that self-talk. So instead of saying, I should be further along, reframe it as, look how far I've come. I'll make more progress tomorrow. Or I always mess up, or I always forget. I'm learning, and that's enough. Actually take the time to reframe those statements. Actually take the time to think of, how could I say that? Not I should be, but look how far I've come. Look how much I've already learned. Our self-talk shapes our story. It shapes our story. So when you feel like you're not enough, it's because you're telling yourself you're not enough. When you feel like you're on top of the world and you're accomplishing so much, you're probably talking really positively to yourself. Your self-talk and that inner critic is writing your story. It is so crucial. The way we talk to our friends can either build them up or tear them down. The way we talk to ourselves can either build us up or tear us down. So choose those words wisely and work on this daily. Have a daily compassion practice. Have a daily moment where you reflect. Reflect on your self-talk for the day. So before you get into bed, or maybe when you get into bed, I know when I get into bed, I start to immediately try to unwind, and maybe laying in bed and thinking of these things is not going to work, but maybe while I'm brushing my teeth, I think, how did I speak to myself today? How did I treat myself? Was I a good friend? And if you weren't, then work on the reframing. You know what? When I forgot that thing, I should have said this instead. Or even better, when I got mad at myself for this, I need to pause and realize how far that I've come or what I've learned. That moment to pause and reflect is what's going to change the trajectory of your inner critic. It will. But you have to do the work in order for you to stop being so hard on yourself. I started by saying, why are we so hard on ourselves? Why are you so hard on yourself? And this is it. We need to realize, I read this quote the other day. I should have written it down. And it was like, friends will come and go, but the friend inside of you will always be there. So be a good friend. Say the things that you would say to a friend to yourself. And remember that your worth is not in your productivity. Your worth is not in how perfect you are. Your worth isn't in any of that. It's in your presence. It's in your resilience. It's in your heart. And speak to yourself the way you would speak to a friend.
Thank you for joining me today on The Joy Perspective. I hope this episode helped you shift your mindset and find a little bit more joy in your life. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe so you never miss one. And don't forget to follow me on Instagram at @meetlaurenvaldez for more inspiration and updates. I'd love to hear your thoughts and connect with you. Until next time, keep shifting your perspective and finding your joy.